something has gone wrong. No. After all of that, okay. As I was saying, welcome to the Geekatorium podcast number 117. Here with me, as always, my good friend Rik Carranza. And just to warn you off the bat, we'd have a spoiler alert because we will be talking about the first two episodes of Ms. Marvel and the most recent episode of Obi Wan Kenobi, and they are fantastic episodes and we really want to get in it. So yeah, you have been warned. Spoilers are ahead. We've got a sodium story in the realm of horror. Yes, horror. We're here to scare you. And we've got a fantastic five, and we're ranking the best escapes, best getaways, great escapes, if you will. Great escapes. But anyway, without further ado, let's go into the podcast. Don't you?
You weren't sure there, were you? You weren't like, should I talk now?
Can I talk now?
You can talk now.
Don't you wish you could mute me in real life?
All the time.
All the time.
I wish it was like, I wish I was like Wanda. Just
What mouth? Anyway, yes. Well, here we are. Another day on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
It's weird, isn't it?
I know, but it's like, I don't know, like it's like performing at the Edinburgh Fringe when we've only got a couple of people watching, but hey, we're going to give them a shot.
We are going to give them a shot. How are you, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm wearing a shirt that is far too small for me right now, and it's very uncomfortable. I put it on in a rush because I didn't want to wear my work shirt, and thankfully for the people that can see the camera only goes up to like here. The buttons are undone from here, from down below. So yeah, this shirt is too small. That's how I'm feeling. How are you?
You could have not disclosed that information. We didn't. It was okay. You didn't have to admit to that.
I want to be real, man. I want to be real. I'm gritty like a Batman movie.
Brilliant. I love it. Well done.
That's
well
who
done.
I am. But yeah, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm now picturing Batman in a suit that's slightly too small for him, and all I'm getting is George Clooney's nipples.
Yes, of course, exactly. My mind went to the same place. I was like, "There's nipples there, isn't there?" Yeah.
I'm good, mate. I had a lovely weekend. Obviously, we didn't stream on Saturday because on Friday, it was my wee man's first birthday. Which was beautiful. And then we actually had his birthday party on the Saturday. We had a whole bunch of family around, and we went down to my in-laws, and everyone sort of met there, and it was lovely. There was cake, there was too much food, and there were lots of presents for Jonah.
I was about to say, he's not going to know about the party. He's not going to remember the party. The party's for you.
Yeah.
The party's for Mrs.
But
C.
so are his toys. Like, there are some cool ass toys that I've got now. Sorry, he's got lots of Jurassic Park toys because obviously it's that time, and a lot of dinosaurs, and I'm very happy, and a very cool construction site thing that's got like boulders and ramps and stuff that you do stuff with, and it's very, very cool. And I'm like, why did I not have this when I was a kid? I would have killed for this stuff when I was a kid.
Oh, there's so many toys and things that I wish existed when I was a kid. It's so upsetting to see the things that you can get now.
Yeah, and he's not going to know. He's not going to appreciate this. Not in the same way that I would appreciate. Saying that, he's got some cool stuff, and like he's very happy. And I'm very proud of him. So I can't believe I got a 1-year-old. That's I haven't slept in almost 2 years now. So that's the only way I can think of life. Is when was the last time I actually slept properly? And it was about a year and 9 months ago.
You've got 17 years left.
Oh. Yeah, I'm never sleeping again.
I don't know how a 15-year-old would still keep you up in the night, but I'm sure they'll find a way. So.
Masturbating.
let's not imagine, because there's all sorts of like problematic areas we could go.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
avoid
move
them.
on that. And believe it or not, I've actually found some time to watch some stuff. Shall we start off by talking about the big one?
The big one. Well, hold on, they're both quite big.
They are.
So.
Well, they are, but
they're both on Disney Plus as well.
Let's talk about the one that we've been talking about.
Okay.
The one that I've had issues with, but generally have found quite good.
Yes.
I feel like I have to keep saying that every week. It's like, I don't think it's bad. I don't think Obi Wan Kenobi's bad. I think it's good. It just does some stupid things per episode.
Oh, it really does.
Like just walk around. Again, I bring it up. Walk around the gate.
Walk around the gate. No, there's in a rewatch recently with because Kelly's not been watching it at the same time as me. Well, I watched it a second time, sort of around with her. So in that last episode, not the one that we're about to talk about, but the one beforehand where Leia. No. In fact, even the one before that, the one where Leia gets caught in the corridors.
Yep.
Right. So how come Tala manages to get back to where Obi-Wan is without bumping into Reva?
Yep.
And then how does Reva get ahead of Leia in that corridor?
Yep.
That's fucking the dumbest shit I've seen.
The dumbest thing is like, we're just going to walk out this base with a trench coat.
Oh, that made me laugh. That's very Star Wars.
It was so stupid. Anyway.
It was stupid, but it didn't work. Let's be honest. It didn't
work. That aside, let's talk about the last episode. Because for me, this is the episode I've been waiting for.
Yeah, it was a very strong episode.
No. This is what this show should have been from the start. Like, I feel like there were no missteps in this episode. It was beautifully done. And to have that sort of juxtaposition of Anakin and Obi-Wan training during the days of the Clone Wars on Coruscant, looking absolutely, I mean, like, let's go wrong, they both look older. They both look much older than the right.
You know that scene in The Simpsons where Luke Perry comes in? It's like Luke Perry who's supposed to be playing like a
and he smiles and it's all
all the wrinkles.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Hayden Christensen looked like as inverted commas 19-year-old. Anakin Skywalker.
However, the story in the present day playing alongside the lesson of that past was just so well done. It was
just also the past haunting Vader still, like those little moments. He's still thinking
but
about
also
that.
As well, like just it brought back that whole, so like one of the criticisms has been like, well, it's ruining the canon and the dialogue now doesn't work because when we met I was the student and you were the master, and like actually this shows that Obi-Wan was still the master.
That was a terrible impression of me, by the way.
It was, it was.
That was terrible.
It was. I'm sorry, it wasn't English enough. But it just shows you that actually Obi-Wan is still the master. Yes, he lost one fight, but actually he was still the master. He got the better of Vader. He knew everything about Anakin and Vader and actually managed to trick him in a beautiful set piece. Like a beautiful set piece. It was just so well done. The whole episode was like, I just feel like I'm kind of angrier at the series. This episode should have been episode 3. Like this should have happened a lot sooner and a lot quicker.
It feels like the idea that we're about to get into the last episode of the series, it feels like this should have been a 10-episode series, not 6.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I also feel like there was a lot of filler. So it's one of these weird things. Like I do think, I would like more, but I do think they put too much filler in. And this episode for me is like, should have been episode 3. I would have been like, yes, it's a strong series. If they'd cut out a lot of, like, Leia didn't need to be captured like 3 times. It's getting,
it is 3 times, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting borderline stupid. But the only criticism I've got of the whole episode was the Reva reveal at the end, or towards in the middle, and I was just like, we all knew that was coming.
Well, no, we knew it, but we we didn't know for sure if she was taking revenge. Like what they could have very easily just have revealed Anakin taking her on. Like they could have gone Force Unleashed with it. That she could have been Darth Vader's secret apprentice. That and he sort of gave her the trust of knowing that he was Anakin and all of that sort of stuff. They could have actually leaned in on that, but they didn't. They kind of went with, she was stabbed as a child, survived, and now she's been stabbed as an adult, is probably going to survive. The Grand Inquisitor got stabbed and survived. Basically, Qui-Gon is a weak-ass Jedi that should have survived a stab in the gut.
Oh my God, right? Like, oh yeah.
Everyone else survives it. It's just Qui-Gon.
How come like they've managed to make lightsabers not scary anymore?
How cool was it though when he snapped it in half and threw? It was the closest we'll ever get to Vader saying, "Come at me, bro."
Yeah.
When he threw the lightsaber at her, I was like, "Come on, then."
Yeah,
Go
that
on.
was pretty cool. It was pretty
Come
cool.
at me, bro.
I did enjoy that. I did enjoy it. It was, look, overall, I just think it was the episode I've been waiting for the entire show. Like it's had moments that I've enjoyed up until this point. There's definitely been moments of the show that I've enjoyed. I have thought overall it's good, but it's flawed. But this episode really was everything I wanted to see in the series. It was like it was the Anakin and Obi-Wan sort of reunion, seeing them work together again, seeing the past seeing the present, seeing Obi-Wan still be a general, even though he is sort of,
when the way he took charge in the hangar was brilliant. Was brilliant. And also when the other guy dismissed Leia and he's like, "Do as she asks."
Yeah.
It's like, get her a ladder.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's like fucking great.
I mean, Leia's been brilliant as well. That kid is just nailing it as Leia. I absolutely think she's got the attitude that Leia has, and it's just perfect. So it's as I said, it's one of these shows where it's like there's a lot that I've liked about it. I think it's flawed, but this for me this has got me excited for the last episode. So
so do you want to speculate, because now we know that Reva knows about Luke and Leia, like knows about who they actually are.
Yeah,
sort of, to a point.
Yeah, she's got to die.
Yeah, she has to.
Yeah, she has to die. There's no doubt about it. I think we're going to be leaning more on heroic sacrifice now, rather than I thought that I called it at the beginning.
Oh yeah, no, we all knew that she was going to die. Like out of all the Inquisitors that we've seen, she's the only one that we've not seen in the future.
But it's going to be it's going to be a predictable heroic sacrifice. I don't think it's going to be shocking when it happens, and I think she'll sacrifice herself to.
No, I don't think she's going to I think she's. I think, like, she's essentially now on a suicide mission because she's going to go after the children, because she knows that Vader will want those children. So she thinks, this is my take on it, she thinks if she takes out the kids, she's going to take out the kids.
But
she's going to try and take out the kids.
But Vader doesn't know that they're his kids.
Yeah, but I think there'll be some grand gesture in that she's going to like try and capture them and go, "Vader, these are your children and I'm going to kill them."
But she's trying to kill Vader. So why
if she can't kill him, she's going to try and hurt him emotionally, because he would want those kids. He would want them. They're Padme's children.
But once again, they're not. Think about the canon. They have been very careful, like a lot more careful than we thought.
He won't find out. He won't find out, but I think that's going to be her plan. I think that's going to be her plan. That she's going to go after the kids to hurt Vader.
Maybe.
And they've got to stop her before she reveals the truth.
Maybe.
That's a guess.
Yeah. You're not to speculate.
I'm allowed.
You said you wanted to speculate. You can speculate. I mean, you can be wrong, but no, it's.
We won't find out. Until next Wednesday.
What spicy thing will you eat this time? We've seen about your speculations and how well they always turn out. How many times have you been correct?
I have been correct a fair few times. I mean, listen, one of our listeners took the time to go onto Discord to say that I called WandaVision happening like 2-3 years ago. So, and you know what? He wasn't wrong, and even more importantly, I wasn't wrong.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think obviously there's going to be one more confrontation between Vader and Obi-Wan.
Yes. Where though?
Obi-Wan has to disappear back onto to Tatooine. Vader cannot know what's on Tatooine,
No.
and cannot know about Leia either. So it's going to be interesting to see how they manage to hide these things from Vader. I think there's going to be, I think there's going to be a heroic sacrifice. I don't think it's going to be an evil sacrifice. I think it's going to be a heroic sacrifice. I think it's going to be she goes to do something similar to what you're saying, but then it was already hinted at when Obi-Wan was talking to her, that she's, she has her doubts about what she's doing and she could be turned around and so on and so forth. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to be a situation of, I could take the killing blow. I could, or not the killing blow, but I could do this thing for my own selfish reasons. But instead she's going to be redeemed and die as a Jedi. That's what I think's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's every possibility that it could be that. That maybe she somehow, if I have a feeling she's going to meet Luke, and maybe she gets a vision of the future by, like the Jedi do at convenient times.
Yeah,
they get these visions of the future. So she might do that. It's like that scene in Rebels, because even at that point, Obi-Wan is pretty convinced that Luke is going to save everyone. And then when he dispatches Darth Maul very quickly, but when Darth Maul's dying in his arms and he's like, is he the one who's going to save us all? And he's like, yes he is. So maybe there's, I'm kind of done with, not just in Star Wars, I'm kind of done with prophecy storytelling.
Right.
I'm sort of a bit done with that whole, he's the chosen one and this is blah blah blah. I'm so done with that element of storytelling. Just different riffs on Jesus. It's just we've got enough. Any of those these days, I roll my eyes so hard at, like, chosen one.
Oh, I get that. I get that. I know. I think there'll be a heroic sacrifice. I think she'll see the light and die as a Jedi, as opposed to doing something selfish and being destroyed by Vader. I think they have to do that for the amount they've built up her character and given her that backstory, that tragic backstory. I think they have to give her that moment of redemption. So I think it'll be a heroic. I don't know if it'll be anything to do with the kids. I mean, I think it has to. Well, no, maybe it has to be, because obviously they've set that up now. But I don't know. I don't think it'll be. I don't know if it'll be that she brings them to him or is planning on bringing to him, because that would indicate she gets destroyed. She gets killed by Obi-Wan, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be something where she's about to do something to Vader, and then, or maybe something to do, tell Vader about the kids or whatever. But then decides to actually take on Vader to slow him down and let Obi-Wan escape, realizing who these people are. I don't know, something along those lines.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I wonder how long the episode's going to be.
3 days. 3 days long.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. This is the episode that's been needed. It's been needed. It's the best episode of the season so far.
Yeah.
And I'm actually excited for the finale. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, let's fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Fingers very much. Everything's crossed.
Everything's crossed.
Now let's talk about let's talk about
Don't
something that I missed last week and I have now fully caught up on.
So Ms. Marvel. It's wonderful, isn't it?
It's the best thing that the MCU's done. It's so good.
It's Spider-Man: Homecoming, but with a girl lead, and she's a discovery because this is her first acting role, full stop.
Yeah,
and she's brilliant. She's brilliant. And the inventiveness of, like, the text messages. And just the
very
Scott Pilgrim-esque.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very Scott Pilgrim, Edgar Wright sort of styling to it all, which is nice. Yeah. And the pacing's fantastic. It's just But
what's your caveat?
No. It's no caveat. I'm trying to think of how to word this. It's always that thing where Black Panther was held up in such high regard, culturally speaking.
Mhm. Yes, of course.
Right. And I think it is excellent, and I think it's an important film, culturally speaking. But I do think it's not the best Marvel film. Right.
No, I know what you mean.
Right.
It's not, but yeah.
But I actually think Miss Marvel might be doing the cultural exploration thing even better than Black Panther is.
The difference, I think, is that with Black Panther, it is very much the culture in the country, and also exploring even more ancient parts of the culture. So when you've got like the people with certain jewelries and the certain scarifications and all of those sort of elements and all of those things, it's very much based in the home of where the culture is from. Now, what I do like about what they're doing in Ms. Marvel is that it's also highlighting the culture of people who are integrating. If you know what I mean. They're and it's them, as the dad puts it in this wonderful way. It's like, that's why we came here, so that our kids could be whatever they wanted to be.
Yeah.
So it is sort of, it's like respecting the culture, but also saying it's okay to want to break away from your culture if you want to as well, and explore other things. It's okay to explore yourself, explore ideas, but this is where you're from. And the whole thing of like the Illuminatis and the Mosque Bros and all of those things aren't based in ancient Islamic culture. It's how it's modernized in today's time. Whereas, as I said, with Black Panther, it's not about the modernization of the culture. It's about respecting where the culture is from. Do you see where I'm sort of getting at?
I do. I think
I know I'm very bad at explaining it, but
you are. No.
Yeah.
No, I totally get what you're saying. It's I think what you're trying to get to, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Tell me, what am I saying?
No, I'm trying to clarify what you're saying.
Tell me.
It's about the normalization of another culture within a culture. So yeah, but
also the modernization of it. Like, what is this culture like in today's times? Where's it like all based from in ancient eras and all of that? It's like, this is how we live our lives today. This isn't,
I think the more important thing, I say, and as someone who comes from, like, who has experience, not comes from, but it has experiences of another culture, it's the the thing that's important. It's the normalization of another culture within another culture. It's the normalization of Islam and Islamic people who live in America, which is the incredible thing. What Black Panther did was like, let's explore African culture, as you said. Let's explore African culture, but we're actually just going to do it in Africa. And actually, we're going to see that they were actually quite isolated. They were isolated themselves from the world to preserve their culture, which is sad. And it led to someone who, from the outside, was like, no, we should be ruling the world because we're actually one of the most. Anyway, I think that was the sad thing about Black Panther, was it was about it. It didn't. As I say, it wasn't about othering. I'm not going to say that because I trying to choose my word carefully here. It didn't other Black culture within America, but what it did do is it did isolate it to Africa, which I think, as great as it was to explore African culture, I think it was a shame that we didn't see more of the more of the plight and the reality. I think Winter Soldier did it better than Black Panther, if I'm being completely honest.
Falcon
and Winter Soldier. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier did it better than Black Panther did. It's not to say that Black Panther isn't an important film and isn't got a massive social message on it. It's just to say, I think Miss Marvel's doing a better job of exploring this culture within another culture. And that's it. But I think the most important thing is that it's normalizing the fact that there are other cultures like Islam within America. And you brought up the gym bros bit and everything like that. The Islam bros. It shows
Mosque
bros. There you go. It shows you as well that these subcultures that exist in white communities within other communities exist in all communities.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
which I think that's really important, and I think that's been done really, really well and really, really sensitively, and in a really humorous way as well. So no, I think it's I think for me, I think this is like, it's so much fun. This show, as I say, she's fantastic. The whole cast, is fantastic.
The whole cast is great. It's funny how they say that this show was sort of aimed for a younger audience, but I'm having a riot with it. I'm enjoying it immensely.
I think the people who are saying that are the people who have certain criticisms, and we shall not talk about them because they are the type of people who do other. But I think the show is fun. I love the pacing of it. I'm already you're 2 episodes in, and I feel like, you know, if we compare and contrast to Obi Wan Kenobi, I feel like I'm on a ride right now with Ms. Marvel, whereas I feel like I was plodding along with Obi Wan Kenobi until the last episode. Whereas this episode, like this one's like, I am on a ride. You know, the last episode was all about the exploration of her powers, and it was fantastic. What do you think of the change in how she got her powers?
I mean, it's a little bit generic superhero-y kind of power, which it's a bit of a shame, but they have acknowledged that the power is actually within her and not exclusively the bangle. So it's the bangle that seems to have unlocked it. So I'm still expecting some kind of Terrigen-y or mutant-y kind of ability.
So
that's also within it.
There was an interesting interview regarding Ms. Marvel and sort of the change of her powers. Now that was actually so first of all, Bisha, who's the showrunner, someone that we both know.
Yeah. You know more than me. I'm someone aware of, but yeah.
She that wasn't her idea. Right.
No, I didn't think it was.
It was put upon her. But the reason being is because of what's unfolded in the MCU so far, and we haven't had Inhumans in the MCU. Now you're probably
not officially.
Not officially. No. They've glossed over that. But within the sort of MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the official Marvel Cinematic Universe, not none of the branches.
The other one was Marvel TV, which isn't quite canon, but sort of is.
Yeah, and kind of is now because of Multiverse of Madness, but isn't because it's a multiverse.
And Loki and all of that.
Anyway,
anything Marvel can exist in the MCU technically now.
But the point is, in the 616, this is because they've confirmed this is the 616.
Well,
they did say it, so you can't.
Well, here's my thing. I've got a bit of an issue with this because for a long time this has actually been Earth 1999999. That has been actually the movie. The MCU has been designated that. Now, in the film of Doctor Strange, they do call it 616. However, there's going to be lots of 616s because how did they? What have they gone round every single one and named them all?
So,
and what about the other ones? Who put them in charge?
Complain all you want. This is 616. Okay, that's how it is. It's been approved. You know. Anyway,
not by me.
The Inhumans and X-Men and sort of but mainly the Inhumans have not been in this universe yet.
No.
So no. That she's not going to get her power from Terrigen crystals. So it makes sense. But what they said was they wanted to, because they couldn't do that because they didn't want to mess around with their current own timeline. They decided to take the powers and base them in something culturally.
No, I get that. That's what they've done with Shang-Chi, and it's what they've done with not really with Eternals, but with Black Panther especially. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so it's just really good. I like the way it's done, but I think it's one of the best things that's come out of the MCU in a while. I'm saying that having watched Loki and WandaVision recently, and Shang-Chi recently, and actually having done a rewatch of everything recently. It's a riot. It's an absolute riot.
Yeah,
and
it's very good.
As I say, the pacing is perfect. It's moving forward. Everything drives the story, which is the best bit. Everything is driving the story. It doesn't.
It's not slow going like Moon Knight was. This is getting
and there's
right
there's no fat on it at all. It's so well put together. So no, it's a great show. I'm enjoying it. Highly recommend it to everybody if you haven't watched it yet, because it's a great piece.
It's good. MCU. It's good fun. It's good. Like just honest. Like it's kind of Nickelodeon, but I like it.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Good.
Like the best things of Nickelodeon. It's very good.
Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. So, shall we?
Right.
Shall I see if this button works?
Yeah, go on. See if the button works, because let's go on. Go on. Press
Let's
it.
do it.
Press it.
Salt. How much do you need? Salt. Well, just a pinch for me. Sodium chloride in my inventory, where we're reading the news and it's a sodium story.
Whoa. Now we're back.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Right. Well, this one from our good friends, this sodium story from our good friends at Giant Freaking Robot. There is no exclusive colon.
Okay.
There is no exclusive colon. To be honest, I know you're a big fan of horror, right, Rick?
I can take it or leave it. I'm just going to sit on here on TikTok.
This is saying Robert Englund returning for another Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Cool.
How would you feel about that? It's certainly going to be on your watch list, isn't it?
Don't care.
What, even after seeing him in Stranger Things?
Yeah, I just don't care.
Well, it's kind of interesting, this one, because it's more that the people, Blumhouse.
Yeah.
So Blumhouse, they make some great horror films. They're the ones that put together Hereditary and Midsummer. They're trying to buy the rights to the Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Right. Okay.
And he's the guy, it's something Blum, hence Blumhouse.
Yeah.
What's his name again? Jason Blum. He is trying to entice Robert Englund back to the role.
Right.
They've tried to reboot. They have tried to reboot Nightmare on Elm Street before, which I take it you've seen several times.
Oh, so many times, like daily repeat. I even see it in my dreams.
Well, that's the idea,
Yeah,
right?
right.
That's the whole idea. What the fans didn't really approve.
Does watching the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode of it, piss take of it, where groundskeeper Willie plays. Does that count?
No, but the scary guy, what we've forgotten his name now, from Rick and Morty. That's Nightmare on Elm Street canon.
Cool.
That's cool. Definitely. But the remake was received poorly, and that's because apparently people don't like it when you make a character that is known for murdering children, but they think he's fun. So when they made a film that he doesn't just murder children, he also assaults them, that's taking it too far, apparently.
Wow. Okay.
That's one of the reasons
you
why
can
people
brutally murder
like,
children, but if you punch one in the face.
Oh, no, different kind of assault. I'm trying not to use the R word.
Okay.
I'm trying not to use the R word.
You see, so by what you did there was you didn't make it as impactful. You removed the impact of the horror. Now I feel awkward.
Yeah. But this is the thing that I find funny from that. It's just like, no, Freddy's not supposed to be that kind of child assaulter. He's just meant to.
He's not Jimmy. That's what you're trying.
He's not, no. But it's just kind of strange. Is it a good remake? Not really. It's a good attempt.
Right.
It was a good attempt, but it does fail on lots of levels.
Yeah.
Like they even had the guy that played young John Connor. I think he was in it as well.
Edward Furlong.
No, from the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I think he was like the Johnny Depp character.
Okay.
But But the idea of getting Robert Englund back, I think it's tricky in this day and age of such cultural sensitivity, not just cultural, just in general sensitivity, to try and make a child murderer fun. So I'm kind of intrigued to see them have a go at it, just to see how much they might fuck it up.
Yeah.
Thomas Dekker, I've just been reminded in the chat, and yes, Thomas Dekker was the young John Connor.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm unsure if I particularly want to see it. I'd like to see Robert Englund do more stuff. Like he's a fun actor.
Yeah.
He's a fun actor. Did you ever see the clips of him playing like essentially promoting Freddy on a children's TV show in the States?
No.
It's hilarious because he's like showing off because they were like sometimes there were real blades on the, and he like gets the blades and he's like, let me show you kids something, and he's scratching them on a blackboard and all the kids are like, no, and he's pulling the face and you're like, he's promoting an R-rated movie that none of these children will be able to see.
Yeah.
Why are they doing this? What on earth is going on
I
here?
love it.
So you're not going to watch this. You really have nothing.
I've got literally nothing. I'm enjoying the experience of watching this, watching you talk about it. I feel like this has enriched my life, is seeing your passion for this situation. I think it's a wonderful thing to be part of, and thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna hit the button.
Press the button.
Salt, how much do you need? Salt, just a pinch for me. Sodium chloride in my inventory, where we're reading the news and it's a sodium story.
Yeah, I pressed the button.
Good. Do you feel good about yourself?
Wonderful. Cool.
You press the button. You can't talk about it.
No.
The
The button's been pressed. We have moved on. We have moved along. All right. So yeah, exactly. No more horror on this. We don't do horror here. Should we catch up with the chat for a second? Because
yes, let's
because
do
we've had some happy belated birthdays to wee Jonah. So thank you very much, Feastus and Kimstock. Very much appreciate it. And if he says, I do like it when you go sociological geek style. It's hard to though. It's hard.
It's a bit of tiptoeing you have to do.
It's not about tiptoeing. It's just about being very clear with what you're saying, right?
Yes,
because
of course, yeah.
The unfortunate thing is that people will sometimes we'll take things out of context, and so it's about building the context. But sometimes as well, you'll say something that can be lifted as well, and they remove the context completely. Context is king. That's basically it. Everything is about context. It is the whole thing of like, you can literally do anything and say anything as long as the context is, as long as you can show the context. You know, it's like people who criticize Friends now by today's standards.
Yeah.
And I go, yes, you can criticize Friends by today's standards. Absolutely, you can. However, the reason it was so popular and the reason it continues to be popular is because the world was shaped at the time, and the people who were fans then are still going to be fans now because that's what they remember. So the context is the whole world was different. You know, it's and
and I guess the same with The Simpsons. In some respects.
Everything, anything that young people turn around and say, this is horrific, how did you like it? It's like us with Benny. It's like us and our parents and Benny Hill and, you know, Bernard Matt.
Love Thy Neighbor.
Yeah,
all
those things. They're horrific. Horrific looking back on them. Yet the context was that's what was acceptable back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, I mean,
it doesn't make it acceptable now, but it was acceptable then.
Yeah, no, and it's no, of course. I mean, even in some respects, it wasn't really. It was acceptable to some people. It wasn't acceptable to all people back in the day. There were people that did have problems with it.
Yes.
Like it wasn't like everyone just.
Well, it's like Mrs. Brown's Boys. I think Mrs. Brown's Boys is a horrific piece of entertainment. I think it's sexist. I think it's racist. I think it's homophobic. transphobic. I think it's got it covers every single phobe. Yeah, it's phobic, and I think the fact that it's so popular is baffles me. But yeah, so there you go.
I've just seen this in the chat from our friend Ephesus. He says that even old episodes of QI have sketchy moments by today's standards. If Stephen Fry can mess up, what chance the rest of us have? Look, I would say that even those of us with the best intentions have messed up at some point in our past, where like even people who would claim to like I've never done this, I bet you have. You 100% have, and it's okay as long as you acknowledge it, and you've learned from it since then. Hence like James Gunn, like with his horrific posts, and then him going, yeah, no, that was terrible, but that there was that time that I will say is like you say, culturally that was a thing that was going on. People were cracking jokes like that all of the time. And this was what, 2008, 2009? Loads of people were doing those sort of like pedo jokes and all of that sort of like really just offensive for the sake of offensive.
Yeah.
But even he went, nah, that was wrong. Shouldn't have done that. And he's grown. And this is the great thing is no matter how old you are, you can grow.
Or if you've said something like that and you want to, you can just make an escape.
Oh, what a segue.
When your brain is in a twist, cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, fantastic five.
Oh, come on.
Well done.
Oh.
I mean, it was mildly tenuous.
It was.
just mildly, but still.
How are you? Yeah, explain this one.
So yes, I basically I just thought about this. We did the usual. Rick sent me a text going fantastic five, big question mark.
Yeah.
The question mark was normal font size, but it just appeared big.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about, normally we like to try and keep it relevant to episodes that we've just seen. And I was really just taken by the image of Darth Vader catching the ship as it was trying to take off.
That was cool.
It was really cool. It was his Force Unleashed moment. And then he brings it down and then he rips open the hull.
Oof.
And then it just turns out it was a decoy and the other ship takes off and gets away. And I'm like, what an escape. What an absolutely brilliant way to trick one of the greatest villains and just do it with style. And I just started thinking, there are loads of things where we go, oh, that was great. When you watch someone escape and they just sort of narrowly make it, or you're just sort of uplifted by the time that they make it out. So I just said, why don't we do, I mean, without calling it great escapes, we could also just say great getaways, but just best examples of escaping a bad situation.
Great getaways sounds like we're going to be hosting a show with Kirsty Allsop in Spain.
I like the Spain.
Yeah. Okay, should we do this?
Let's do.
Who's going first? Shall I go first? I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
You can
I'll
go
go first.
first.
Okay.
You go
first.
Yeah.
I need to bring up my list because I can never remember it. Matt, here you go. Here's my list. Okay. We're going to start with number 5. Number five is the opening sequence of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. You know, where they leave Privet Drive to go into hide, to get Harry into hiding, and they have to escape from all the Death Eaters chasing them through the skies of London. It's just an awesome sequence. It's very, very well done. There's some stakes in it as well. They actually lose people through doing
some you don't see. There are some off-screen.
Yeah, there's some off-screen deaths, but it's still. I think it's still enough to actually mean something as well. Like, because I think the thing I like about the way that it's done is the off-screen deaths by not seeing them, because you are only seeing it from Harry's point of view. So when he arrives, it is like, what the hell's happened? What the hell's happened? And then you sort of get that sort of emotional impact of, it's this person has been lost. We don't know how, you know what I mean? That's all we know. That's all he knows.
A lot of emotion on the dead owl.
Yeah. Oh, don't. No, I'm not over that yet. I'm not over Hedwig yet. But yeah, no,
this is why it's number 5.
I think it's a great sequence. I think it's a great opening sequence, and he escapes. And they land safe at the Weasleys. Except, well, mostly safe. The Weasleys.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's a great opening sequence and a great escape. So there you go. That's my number 5.
Nice.
What's yours?
Okay. Mine is from a video game. It's, I mean, you could argue that it's the whole game is an escape. And I know I'd never stop shutting up about this game, but The Last Guardian.
There you go.
But the whole game is essentially escape from the nest. But it is that moment at the end
when you cry.
When I cry, it's one of the bits that sets me off. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see how I can get away with talking about it right now. But it's the bit where your character's like unconscious, and Trico, who's really badly beaten up, he's had half his tail ripped off. He's only just got his wings working again, so he can't wake you up. And then he just decides, fuck it, I'm going to try and make this flight. And he leaps, he falls. Then he catches the wind and glides out, and with the music and everything, you just can't help but essentially stand up from your seat and go, yes! I mean, your face is streaming from tears as well, but it's just such an uplifting escape. You really, because at that point, you've been on that journey with them for the whole 6-7 hours of the game. So you feel that relief of escape, the triumph of it. And I've yet to play any sequence in a game that has given me that kind of feeling of relief when you've actually successfully escaped.
Brilliant. No, love it. Love it. Hang on a second. My stuff is just, there we go. I love it. That was good. That's a good one.
There we go. That's my number 5. So tell me, what was your number 4?
My number 4. Now, generally speaking, most escapes go from one place to another.
Right.
Yeah, you escape to a place.
Well, that's the point of going from A is the prison and B is not the prison.
Okay, cool. So my escape, my getaway, the number 4, they escape, the character escapes through time.
Okay.
So, he stays in the same place, but ends up in a different time. Now it's the beginning of Back to the Future, escaping the Libyans.
Specifically the Libyans. I mean, technically it's a different place because it's not the mall car park when he arrives.
It's still the same place. They don't travel through. They only travel through time. It's still the same place, but
I know, but you know what I mean. It's not.
I know. It's Lone Pines Mall.
Which started as Twin Pines. It's one of the best gags in the film.
But no, it's come on. He doesn't know what's going to happen. It's a great. We've just seen the time machine work for a few seconds, for like a minute. Yeah. You see him. You've seen Einstein travel forward 1 minute in time, and then it starts up the whole story, escaping the Libyans, and it's hilarious and brilliant, and it's Back to the Future. So there you go. That's it. That's my number 4.
Love it. It's good. It's good escape.
Yeah, thank you. What's yours?
Okay.
What's your number 4?
My number 4, it's the way this plan just comes together. This is the closest Star Trek ever came to being like the A-Team.
Right.
And it's when they get the plan together to break McCoy out of the mental home and then get him onto the Enterprise and then escape on the Enterprise. With like the skeleton crew of just the senior staff of the original Enterprise, and it's all done because Scotty sabotaged the Excelsior.
The Excelsior, yep.
And it's just the way that plan comes together. Sulu properly having his is sort of his fighting moment. And Scotty just coming into his own because he tricked them all because they were like, we got to get Scotty onto the Excelsior. He's going to make this ship amazing. No, he absolutely sabotaged everything.
Do you know, it's amazing how the captain of the Excelsior was one of Bowser's children. You know how he's got that wand for some reason?
Yes.
You're just like, that's one of the Bowser kids' wand, isn't it?
That's so true. And it's the fact that really, if we were watching any other Star Trek episode where a crew was doing that, you'd be like, they're the bad guys. But no, I'm rooting for these people to really just fuck up Starfleet right now.
So interestingly enough, that was Search for Spock was the first movie that Leonard Nimoy directed.
It was indeed.
So he did Search for Spock, and then he did Voyage Home. There's a funny story from it where DeForest Kelley, they filmed the scene at the end where they've rescued him. They're in the bird of prey. Sorry, spoiler alerts for a movie from 1980.
40-year-old movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so he's in the he's recovering. Spock's lying down asleep, and DeForest Kelley's like, how do I get this thing out of my head? And speaking to him, or saying all this stuff. And they cut the scene. They finish the scene. Apparently, DeForest Kelley turns around to Leonard Nimoy. He's like, I could see you doing it. And he was like, what? Directing me with your eyes. You were fluttering your eyelashes. You were trying to direct me. Which is a brilliant story. But the story I want to touch on is actually when you talk about that as like sort of, you said, a team coming together. It was, that's what it was exactly what they were aiming for. That's what Leonard Nimoy was aiming for. He was drawing on his experience of when he was in Mission Impossible.
Nice.
And so he was using that sort of thing, but also the idea of using like the chemistry of the crew. It was, if you watch Wrath of Khan, it was very much a Spock, Kirk, and McCoy film.
It was the trio.
Whereas
the Holy Trinity.
Whereas this one, he very much wanted to give every single crew member their time to shine and show how good they are.
Yeah,
and show how well they all work together as a team.
It worked. It worked, and that's why it's my number 4. So there we go.
Good shout.
Thanks. So tell me, what's your number 3?
My number 3. My number 3 is, well, it's been mentioned in the chat actually. My number 3 actually comes from this franchise, and it is it's the viaduct escape in Terminator 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good chase. Good
so
chase.
good though. It's so good. Like John Connor, he's escaped this, what he knows is a cop. That's all he knows it as. That's all he knows.
Yeah.
And he's takes his dirt bike down into the viaducts, thinking that he's escaped. And next thing you know, big truck being driven by the T-1000 jumps down. Oh, such a great scene. And then of course made better by Arnie on his chopper, just jumping into the viaduct to chase after. It's such a great scene, finishing with a brilliant effect. And obviously that effect there, the effect of him walking out of the fire as the liquid Terminator.
Yeah,
that was one of the scenes that influenced the makers of Jurassic Park into realizing that they could do that film. So there you go. But it's a great one. So there you go. That's my number 3.
It's a very good one. Very good one. My one's from the same director as that one. It's a James Cameron film. It is Aliens.
There we go.
There's two really. I could pull 2 different escapes from this film. I could pull the just her rescuing Newt and escaping from the nest. I could do that, but I am more going for the escape from Hadley's Hope itself, when they're in the actual colony area, and they start realizing that everything is fucked. Like the walls start coming to life, and they're all fucked. They're just all fucked. And the way they just get out of there, and then the alien puts its head through the door, and he just like, eat this, shoots it. But then he's fucked because he's now covered in acid. And then Ripley just gets in the driving seat. Against the order of her commanding officer, she gets in and just drives out. Well, first she drives in, rescues them, and then drives out. And then it's such an escape that they're like, the car's fucked. Like, just, you're grinding metal. Just stop. Just stop. We did it. I mean, they still had lots to do, but the way they escaped that situation that could have so easily gone worse. I mean, it couldn't have got much worse, but it could have gotten worse. But they managed to get out by the skin of their teeth. And I just that whole sequence I could watch over and over again. Just like, we gotta go. It's like, get them out of there. So yeah, that's
nice.
There you go.
Good shout.
It's my number 3.
Good shout.
It's my number 3.
I'm gonna be rewatching those movies soon.
Well, even Aliens.
Yeah. I love the Alien series, but I might even subject myself to Prometheus again. Yeah. I know.
Just
I
don't.
know.
Tell you what, read the script of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah. It's so
It's
annoying,
much better.
Prometheus. It's such a missed opportunity. Anyway.
Anyway, yes. So you're
My
number two.
number two. 3,720 to 1. The odds of successfully navigating an asteroid field.
Never tell me the odds.
That is, come on. It's a great sequence. It's a great sequence. Like it. What made Star Wars, the first Star Wars movie, so good wasn't the story. It was a standard hero's journey.
Yeah.
And it was a space movie, and there'd been loads of space movies. What made it so great were things like the effects. The effects were next level for what had been seen. Like the scale of Star Wars. There'd been nothing done at that scale that looked that good.
Yeah.
And in Empire, they just raised it. They just went. We'll go one further. We'll go one further. You want to arrive in the ruins of Alderaan like it's an asteroid field. This time we're going to go to a huge asteroid field and race through it and try and escape from TIE fighters.
Yeah.
Brilliant sequence. Absolutely brilliant. And what makes it even better is just the music. The music in that sequence makes it all that better. So it is one of my favorite escapes. I mean, they didn't really escape. They just put themselves into even more danger inside the mouth of a giant space worm. But then they managed to escape that as well. So there you go.
Yeah, they escaped that, but wasn't the real master of the escape was that they just latched onto the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
That's just great. It's escaping by not escaping.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Just drift away with the garbage.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's my number 2.
Lovely stuff.
What's yours?
Lovely. My number 2, problematic director aside, is from X-Men 2. X-Men United.
Problematic.
Yeah, indeed. But the sequence in which Magneto escapes his plastic prison is diabolical, and just it really is a good demonstration of how powerful and dangerous Magneto is. Because yeah, sure, he can do metal, he can throw metal at you, he can crush you in metal, all of that, but the fact that the whole process of Mystique goes and basically hooks up with this dude, spikes his drink with something you don't know what it is, but it turns out it's just more iron.
Any old iron.
And any old iron. But when it's just, there's a lot more iron in your blood, and just pulls it out of his body.
Oh, so brutal.
And then uses it to escape. And this, it's so creative. It's just, you're just watching it going, wow. It's certainly that, it's a Darth Vader catching a Star Destroyer moment.
Yes.
It is just like, oh my God, this is insane. This is brilliant.
It's a great one.
Oh God, it's horrific. And as I say, it's you just wonder what he could do to the adamantium in Wolverine. Like, he was obviously holding back with Wolverine.
Oh God,
because,
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that's it. Magneto's escape from X2.
Good shout. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thanks,
also,
man.
great film.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Problematic director aside.
Say that a lot these days.
Yeah.
Good shout.
What's your number 1
My
then?
number 1 is just, it couldn't be any other one. It couldn't be any other one. I mean, there is one other I can think of, but actually no, this is a classic. If you think about escapes, this is the one that comes into literally everybody's mind. Literally everybody's mind.
Yeah.
It's the escape from Turin in The Italian Job.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, come on. It's wonderful. It's utterly wonderful, that sequence. That whole, it's most of the movie. That's the best bit. Most of the movie is that driving through Turin, through the sewers, over the rooftops, all of it. It's just great. It's so much fun to watch. And look, I know they do get away. They do get away. They're just in a new situation at the end. Exactly.
It's a new situation.
But the fact that, it's built up that they can never escape, they could never pull off this job. It was impossible. There were so many problems, like they were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off, all of these things. and they pull it off, and in red, white, and blue minis. Like, you couldn't have been more conspicuous. It's just a wonderful sequence. It's a great movie. I love The Italian Job. I'll always love it. And it's a classic. So yeah, that's my number one. It's the one that everyone thinks of. Anyone who's a fan of movies, anyone who's a fan of any, if you're a true movie fan, it's The Italian Job.
Okay. Shots fired, because I have a feeling mine is the better escape.
Go on.
Well, first off, I do want to acknowledge that neither of us picked The Great Escape.
Yes.
Neither of us picked that.
Or Escape to Victory. And we need to see some Pele
Escape from LA.
Yeah.
No, neither of those. Although the problem with The Great Escape is he doesn't escape. He gets caught at the end.
Right.
So, spoilers. But if you want to talk one of the most triumphant escapes in movie history, I would argue that people wouldn't straight away think of The Italian Job. I would argue that they straight away think of The Shawshank Redemption.
See, that was the other one that I was going to pick.
Yeah. It's not just obviously the again, like I said, the uplifting feeling of when he triumphs, and essentially, he emerges after crawling through miles of shit.
3 football fields.
3 football fields worth of shit, which I think is a mile, but there we go. Just incredible. But it's the long game. It's the long game. And it wasn't his intention really to escape until he realized how brittle the walls were when he was scratching in the years on his wall. And it was like, oh, little chunk, hold on. And it's like I said, he always joked that it would take like 5 years or like, what was it, 20 years to break out. It's like, turns out it only took him 12 or something along those lines. But the strategy of not just, well, first off as well, we do have to acknowledge how incredible it was that he was able to put the poster on so tight from the inside, from behind.
Yeah.
Which extraordinary. But after he's crawled through that tunnel and then he gets to the sewer and then he's waiting for the thunder before he hits the pipes.
Yeah.
And then he breaks it. And it's all of that. It's how thought out it was, the patience of it. That essentially this escape has been happening throughout the movie. You've just not been shown it.
Yeah.
You've just not been shown it. And I'm sorry, that shot of him standing in the rain, like he's free. He's absolutely free. And just wonderful.
Yeah.
Just absolutely wonderful. There's not many feel good escapes than that one right there.
Good shout. Love it. Love it. That's a good
Thank you.
That's a good number one. Well done, buddy.
This was fun.
Good Fantastic Five.
Very good indeed.
Oh.
It's not playing.
Just give it a second.
When your brain is in a twist, cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, fantastic five.
I mean, like, it's the first time that I've hosted this on my stream, on my technology. So just I was literally putting it together 5 minutes before they actually went live, like putting the last touches. So I'm fairly happy of how it's gone.
I'm happy with you.
Oh, thank you so much. You're very kind.
I know you're always after my validation.
Yeah.
I know that's...
I should, like, obviously, like, anyone who's made it to this point, if you're listening to the podcast, if you're listening, we do live stream this on YouTube. We do live stream the records. There may be some editing done this week. So you might want to go onto YouTube to watch it back. But generally, I think
we weren't problematic.
No. I'm just thinking there was one point where I was like, wait, I think my text failed. No, wait, it's cool.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, that type of stuff. So if you ever want to watch it live, come and join us on YouTube.
Yeah, come watch the fuck ups.
Yeah.
Come watch it.
It's great. It's fantastic. But
let's look at some chat quickly.
Oh yeah, of course.
Regarding this. So R.I.P. Hedwig.
Yep.
We've got here. Team Trico.
Oh my god.
We all cried.
Hedwig ended just being. Oh, sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I've got I was dehydrated. This is from when I did the Last Guardian stream, and just we were all in bits, all of us. And yes, as you say, yeah, the Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles, they did do that time escape quite a lot.
Yeah,
Sarah
but
Connor
Back
Chronicles.
to the Future did it first.
Yeah, of course they did.
Yeah.
And so they use it in film study courses around the world. I think that's about your viaduct scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene, man. It's so well done.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
well filmed. Everything about it, the stakes are fantastic. It's as a scene, singular scene, it's one of the best ever filmed.
It is. And Ephesus is very happy about the Xeno mention and the fact that Xenomorphs have made the Fantastic Five 2 weeks in a row now.
It's very true. I had it last week, didn't I? So
yeah. Well, we do like those aliens. We do like them.
We do. So yeah, there we go. But
Yeah, we are indeed.
that's the end of the podcast.
Well, here we are.
It is. Well, I guess I've got to say, if you're returning to watch or listen to the podcast, welcome back and thank you for listening. It's great to have you here again. But if this is the first time you have listened to the podcast and you've made it this far, you've made it to the end, thank you so much for either watching or listening along. We really, really, really appreciate it. Now, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead onto whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on and go hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast so you get a notification anytime it lands on your device and listen to the latest episodes from ourselves. Now, there's a couple of favors we do ask on top of that as well. If you have really enjoyed this podcast, please head over to Apple Podcasts and give it a 5-star review. The more 5-star reviews we get on our episodes, the more they'll get pushed up the charts and the more listeners we'll end up with. And that'd just be lovely. But you can also tell people about the podcast, whether it's in real life or online. So obviously in real life, just ran up screaming to people in the street and go, "What year is it?" No, just tell them about the Geekatorium podcast. Or as I said, you can recommend it online. How can they find us online, Matt?
They can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the big three, the holy trinity of social media, as it were. If you see the links posted on Facebook or Twitter, please hit that share or retweet button. It takes a couple of seconds and it just spreads the love. Also, hit the like on those posts as well, because again, it just ups the engagement and helps it get seen a little bit more. We do post on Instagram as well. You'll have to click the link in the bio because Instagram is a bit iffy when it comes to links, but you can follow us. And the artwork I do for the podcast is all right, isn't it? It's all right.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. You can admire the artwork. And you can also find both Rik and I on Twitch. We both stream on Twitch. You can just come and interact with us there. You can interact with us in real time. And, we like to have a laugh with our communities. So do that. And the other thing you can do to help us out, just sort of helps us a bit financially. It's just Patreon. If you could just go onto our Patreon, just throw us a bit of help. It really helps. And, hopefully we may be able to, hire editors, and all of that sort of stuff in the future. That would be very handy because we have no time. We have no time. So we really appreciate all your support. In fact, just being here and listening, downloading the podcast. If that's all you can do, don't worry. We appreciate your support, no matter how you give it.
Thanks for listening, folks. We'll be back next week. Bye.
We will. Bye.
That was like perfect timing for that little intro bit, like the pre-intro music. Like it just worked. It worked, people. It worked.
There we go.
Because now when we do the edit and you drop that in, it's just going to be, where it's going to stop. It's going to be good. So there you go. Just drop the music and drop it like it's hot.
Nice.
It was awesome. Thanks.
That was nice. Yeah. Thank you, people, for being here.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. Sorry that it's a couple of days late, but that's how it goes. But life.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pull any punches here. I prioritized my son over this.
I'm totally down with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally down with that. It's all good, man. It's all good. So yeah. So what else is there to talk about? We might be on a different day this weekend, mightn't we? We might do Monday next week.
We'll keep an eye on social media. Keep an eye on Discord if you're already in that as well. And
Yeah,
we will,
because it's my birthday next Saturday. No, Sunday. So, and I'm going out the Saturday night. So I'm prioritizing my birthday.
yeah, exactly. So we will let you know. Just keep an eye out on social media, and we will announce it. We'll try and be a bit better at like sort of announcing changes like this, you know, so that you can.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
But it's fine because we're enjoying it. So thank you, Phaestus.
Yes.
I thought it was great too. No, I'm not that big headed.
I always have a good time. Look, if it means I get to sit here and chat silly nonsense with my friend, so I'm all good with it.
There you
I'm
go,
all good
Eddie.
with it.
There you go. No need to get all
So,
soft about it.
Believe me, I'm not soft right now.
Oh mate. Oh mate.
You did that to yourself.
Poor you. No, this has been lovely. I'm going to head off though, because I am exhausted. And this is what happens when you have a 1-year-old. I have a 1-year-old.
I have a dog.
I have a 1-year-old human that I'm responsible for.
I have a dog that I'm responsible for. I didn't tell you.
Go on.
Did I? We got DNA results back. We now know what he is.
Related to King Henry III?
No. You've seen Odin, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the dominant breed in him is?
Oh, no idea. Go on. Tell me.
He's 22% Chihuahua.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
20% Pekingese.
Yep.
8% Dachshund.
Yep.
And 8% Shih Tzu.
Brilliant.
Like, those are the dominant breeds. So, yeah.
I love it. There you go.
DNA test.
My boy is one.
Future.
My boy is one. As far as I know, is 100% right. I don't know. I haven't. Yeah, I'm not going to do a DNA test on my dog because I'll find out he's probably part asshole. So
I've met him. He's not.
He is. He really is. Anyway, people who have been watching this long, thank you so much for watching. We'll let you know. Just keep an eye on social media. We'll let you know when we're going to be back. But it will be next week because we're going to need to talk about the finale.
The Obi Wan finale. Yes,
finale.
100%.
So we will let you know. But we are going to head off now. Now it's kind of weird. We just end the stream. So we're
no rates.
Yeah, it's weird. So we will see you. We'll see you next time, people. On the count of 3. Bye-bye. 1.